The first time I had met you guys was actually a pretty horrific day. I had been in a really abusive relationship. As you know, I had just gotten out of the hospital and was beaten senseless. I had gotten a restraining order against my ex, and I was going up to the pregnancy center to get a confirmation on my pregnancy because after I was in a neck brace and beaten up in the hospital, they told me I was pregnant. So I went there to go get a confirmation, and when I pulled up to the building, he had already been there waiting for me to get there, and he opened the door and threatened my life. I walked into the building seeking refuge. So y'all took me, he wanted to go back in there with me to do the confirmation of pregnancy. And y'all had seen the panic in my eyes and said, no, this is confidential, it's just her. So I went back there and was explaining everything, that I was, in a life or death situation at the moment. I was panicked and just a mess. I was actually on the verge of suicide that day. I felt like there was no way out. And y'all had offered me hope. Y'all just looked at me like a human being and made me feel loved when I was in a bad situation. And my family was tired of seeing me in that situation, that nobody was willing to help anymore. And so Sonia had followed me home, and just that little bit of love, that's all it took to bring me back. I think maybe within that same week, I had come back and was considering having an abortion. I had had an abortion before, and it tormented me. I just felt like I even had psychosis. I would hear things that weren't there, and that was from just the guilt of abortion. And I'm somebody who didn't, when I had chose abortion in the first place, I thought I was a very selfish person. You had talked with me and told me that there are 3 options, that I could go and, have the abortion, or I could do adoption, or I could mother the baby. And you had given me all these resources instead of judging me and making me feel worthless. You gave me these different options and just talked to me like a person. And I remember crying in your office, just hysterical. And the first time I'd seen a Christian act like a Christian and actually see me for me, it was the first step I had taken towards making better choices and changing my life. Just throughout my pregnancy, it was just a constant battle of what am I gonna do? And y'all were just always so supportive and so loving and caring that I felt like I could do this. So I started going to Bible studies, and that just helped so much. I just had an opportunity to see God's love every day with the people that there at FirstLook Pregnancy, and just hearing the word and building a bond with all the girls in there. We were all pregnant together, and after I had Aiden, all of us had our babies around the same time. We all still continued to go to classes and earn baby bucks. I didn't have any money. I didn't have any help. I was basically homeless, didn't know what I was doing most of the time, and earned that money to buy diapers and to buy clothes and be able to provide and feel proud of myself. I felt self-worth again. Aiden, he was such a joy. Actually, when I had him, I had been in such an abusive relationship. CPS said that I couldn't take care of him, if I couldn't defend myself, how would I defend and take care of my child? And so I agreed with them, but I had opportunity, and y'all just made me feel so much love, and I didn't feel ashamed of myself. I just kept going to the classes, even though my sister and brother-in-law were taking care of him. He is such a wonderful, wonderful baby. Actually, his birthday just passed. He passed away 3 months later in an accident. Y'all were there for me through that. Y'all went to the funeral and supported me through that. And I've just always been there. Not too long after, I found out I was pregnant again. And I felt so. My dad was in a coma. Still, he was in a coma, and I just felt so heartbroken, and just felt like I didn't have the energy or the love to give again. So I went back and I had asked about if there were any homes I could stay in. We had talked about, the options, and I knew abortion wasn't the option for me, so adoption was the option. So we were coming up with a plan for my baby, and I chose open adoption because I wanted to be in my baby's life as much as possible, and it just turned out to be just such a blessing. I talk to her every day, talk to Avery on the phone, and I get pictures of her every single day, and go and see her on her birthday, and gosh, I've seen her for the past 2 weeks already. I'm just so blessed. My life has changed, and it all started with FirstLook. Y'all were the first ones to show me real kindness, real love. Y'all loved me without knowing me when I didn't feel I was worth anything or felt that I was deserving of y'all's love or God's love. I felt condemned, like I couldn't be saved, and that all changed.